day 2. We're heading off up to Mount Tabor today.
And also, during the second Joshua War, 132 and 135 AD, also there was a very big tension.
Mount Tabor was the place of the Transfiguration of the Lord.
Around the lake of Tabor, which is known later on. Tomorrow we're going to get checked out. That's why I came early, because we are the second group, one of the first groups to come. When we have Mount of the Transfiguration in my program, I like to do it in the morning to gain.
Where are my sisters?
Oh, just about filming now. Silly me.
There you go.
Just saying hello.
There was nobody left of our group when I came up.
On our way to the church at Mount Tabor, where Peter, James and John followed Christ.
We have to do a countdown probably.
So we'll see you shortly. I'll take some pictures and speak to you soon.
Yes. I've got you.
I'll have you.
Yeah.
So if anybody needs the restrooms, they're in the corner there, okay?
Chris, how are you this morning?
Just a bit croaky, but I feel much stronger. I feel a lot better. Shoulder's fine.
No, okay.
Shoulder went back into joint about 10 o'clock last night.
Is it when you lay on it and it just...
Cat on the cat on Mount Tabor.
Moses and Elijah.
Jesus actually, he walked a lot in the Holy Land, climbed mountains, and mountains in Christianity. Come closer, please, because some groups are not allowed to block the entrance to the church. Mountains is very sacred and very important, because mountains is place, a high mountain, high place, and it's close to God. During the Canaanite period, they used to build their temples on the top of the mountains because it's a place close to God. The mountains, and even the desert is very important and very sacred in Christianity, because why Jesus actually spent 40 days and night under the temptation of the devil in the desert. The desert represents meditation. The mountains represent meditation. So this church was built on the top of the Mount of the Transfiguration to commemorate the transfiguration of Jesus in front of his disciples. And the main meaning and the interpretation of the transfiguration of Jesus in front of Moses and Elijah, just to put the Old Testament together with the New Testament. Together. He put the Old Testament and the New Testament together on the top of this mountain.
And then Jesus is going to death.
Transfigured. Did we have mercy?
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes,
Sometimes there's no need for commentary. Sometimes you just sit back and you look. And right now, standing here on the platform, I'm looking down over the valley out towards Jerusalem, Tiberias. Below the clouds, the valley. On a clear day you can see 30 miles. Unfortunately, it's not one of those days. The ruins of the original churches that have stood on this ground for millennia. One church built on top of another church, and then the most recent church of the Transfiguration that we've just been in. Yes, this is a little bit of an anticlimax. Normally you can see something like 30 miles from here. Yeah, so normally you can see something like 30 miles.
It was so foggy, you can't see anything. Where is that place where we saw the Armageddons of the planes? Is this the one?
No, this is not this one. That'll be apparition.
Apparition.
The day after tomorrow when we go up in the cable cars. And you may...
What's that?
Yes.
I've been there.
Chris!
With Angeles.
There's only one more.
One more,
One more, Chris!
One more, please.
Hindi. Gusto niya yan.
Oh, look at it.
Ang pusa, baka ano ito.
Okay.
Dami nagkatang pusa dito. Dami doon sa maraming hotel natin. Yun ang bantay dito, yung mapusa yan.
Oh my God, there's no view.
You forgot.
You were saying something we don't...
View of the Jezreel Valley.
You forgot to make that. Right, let's close up the gaps, please, guys. Close up the gaps, please.
قدام لا مفتشر زكي بيعطينا على سواد عينينا 40 دولار هو طول عمره باقي.
So as we leave Mount Tabor, we're now heading down towards Cana, where we will celebrate a holy mass and the renewal of our wedding vows. Again, we keep in our prayers Jerome and his wife, who had planned today to renew their vows, but due to the isolation they are unable. So we will continue to keep them in our prayers.
أنا والجماعة متعطشين للشراء هذول يا عمي، هذول متعطشين حرام. والله ضيعنا يمكن أنا 2000 دولار، هذول راحوا. صدقني.
لا ما اشتركش على 2000.
So we're just coming into the town of Cana now, where we'll be celebrating our holy mass and the renewal of the wedding vows today. Cana being the place of Jesus Christ's first acknowledged miracle, where he turned water into wine, and we shall be attending that holy shrine in a few minutes. Starting day 3, we've just left Jerusalem. We're heading down now towards Bethlehem, going through the Jordan Valley. And as George has just been highlighting, it's basically formed through tectonic activity millions of years ago. At the time, Egypt was a separate continent or separate landmass and was pushed south into Africa.
Costa Victoria, this is the Mount of Olives, and Bethany is located in the eastern side of the Mount of Olives, the eastern slope of Mount of Olives, and up there we have the churches on top of Mount of Olives. Tomorrow we'll visit the churches on the top and on the western slope of the Mount of Olives. So we have a nice view left over the city of Jerusalem and over the Mount of Olives from the distance.
So, good morning. It's the start of day 4. Didn't get any video yesterday because of issues with the battery clip. Managed to sort it out overnight tonight. So today it's off to Bethany, cable car ride this morning up the mountain. Along these roads you've got some speed humps that would ruin the tank tracks. They're not marked and there's no way of knowing when they're coming on you. You just hit them and they send everybody flying.
When the Emperor Constantine adopted Christianity in 313 AD and Christianity became legal, many monks, they came from different countries. The desert in Christianity is very important. This is represent the meditation, represent the place close to God, So even Jesus, he chose the desert to be the place where he fasted 40 days and nights. And all of the hermits, they lived in the caves. At the early beginning of Christianity, the monks, they lived in caves, and then step by step they started to build monasteries. But these monasteries were destroyed by the Persians in 650.
We're going to be down on that distant road there in about 10-15 minutes.
1890 and 1930 AD by the Greek Orthodox Church. This is, we call it the Wadi Nar road. We came from this road. This is the road for the West Bank ID holders that connects the southern West Bank to the northern West Bank. There's a project to have another road avoiding this road, which is very deep, from the mountains in front of us to Bethlehem, but maybe they need financial support. And actually the Palestinian Authority, they put on Facebook just 6-7 months ago the project, which is very nice, from Bethlehem all the way from the desert all the way to Bethany. But you know, the main income here is corruption. So we are waiting for the financial support. We have lots of, yeah, for sure. We can make, yeah, if you work in politics, you can make lots of money. We have a joke that a thief, they caught him to stealing. They put him in prison 5 years. And then the judge told him after 5 years, okay, now you will get released now and you will be free. What do you like to work? He said, I want to work in politics. He said, why? He said, because in politics you can steal legally. Yeah. I was a thief, they put me in prison because I was stealing. But if I'm in the government, I can steal and nobody can talk to me. So you can steal honestly. So this is it. Sheep to the right side. I said maybe our grandchildren will come from this road, the new road.
You guys are very, very good. First time singing that, that's very impressive.
So the church at Bethany. We appear to be the first group here this morning. It is truly a beautiful place. Yeah, such a beautiful, peaceful place.
Are you unemployed now?
Part of me is.
Okay, can I have your attention, please? Okay, Bethany, Bethania. In some documents it's mentioned Bethania or Bethania. In Arabic, for example, in the Arabic documents it's mentioned Bethania or Bethania, even in the Arabic Bible, which is mean the house of the poor people. First of all, I would like to point out that who lived in the center, in the city of Jerusalem during the time of the temple? The Pontius Pilate, the emperor, the king, the high priest, but the poor people and the normal people who served in the temple, they lived around. Just we have around half-mile away from the Mount of Olives to the temple in those days. We are in the eastern slope of Mount of Olives. So we are now around 1 mile away, far from the center of Jerusalem, around the city. Like Lazarus, he was living in Bethany.
Oh, she's just given birth. She has literally just given birth. Taking it to safety. Give her a piece. Just give us a piece. That's not even 2 days old. This is the church in Bethany, church for Lazarus, whom Jesus raised from the dead. I wanted to show her to take the day off completely today, but she just doesn't want to leave. She does not want to relinquish her responsibilities.
I understand now why you two are together. You're as bad as each other, you know that.
Listen, if you think I'm stubborn, she is infinitely more stubborn. More committed. Let's say committed, shall we?
I like the word, yes.
When I talk about commitment and being committed, they all look at me and say, we thought you had been. I'm going to get some duct tape out in a minute and put it over her mouth. No, the only thing that'll happen is I get a dent in the back of my head.
Okay, this is actually Crusader chapel here, but since we are in the eastern slope of the Mount of Olives, the olives and the oil was one of the main industries in Bethany in those days. So during the excavations, they found an oil press. This is an oil press, this is the stone. This is original except this stone. This is not replica, but this is the original stone and this is replica. And that makes the oil. Makes the oil. And the oil was one of the main industries in Bethany in those days. Where we are now is Crusaders Chapel and Crusaders Church. After the destruction of the two Byzantine churches, the Crusaders, they built this in the 12th century. Where we were is the modern church, 19th century. So you can look around, and I would like to your cooperation and help. We will visit the tomb of Lazarus. The tomb of Lazarus, according to the program, if we have time, because by 9:30 we have the cable car to the Mount of Temptation. So I need your cooperation to take some pictures. And let's go and visit the tomb of Lazarus. The tomb of Lazarus, we have around 24 steps that will allow 10 by 10 to go down to the...
It's closed.
Tomb is closed.
Yeah, I suspected it might be. Unfortunately, our visit into the tomb of Lazarus has had to be aborted because it's closed. We're coming to the end of Ramadan, and the staff that would normally be doing it have been on fasting. But it has been an interesting run of luck for us. I've never led a tour like it. It's been the most incredibly spiritual start to the tour, but I've never had so much bad luck on a tour. But hopefully we can change that.
Oil.
Huh? There's two olives.
And this olive?
Completely different.
This is a local. Local? That's an olive. This one, okay.
That's the olive, they're calamansi.
Calamansi, low quartz. Oh, low quartz.
Low quartz.
No, kumquats is different. Low quartz. Low quartz.
Yeah, the kumquat's brother.
Okay. Tree this? No,
It's a green one.
the green.
That's an olive tree, and apparently that's a loquat.
And there's an orange.
And that's an orange. Right, let's go and find the coach. The Satsuma type oranges.
Anybody have big bag you single?
No, thank you. It's kind of you to offer.
Above the sea, we will drive all the way down to Jerrico. Jerrico is around 265 meters below the sea level, making the Dead Sea as the lowest point on Earth, which is 411 meters below the sea level. So we will drive all the way down more than 1,000 meters. We have a higher temperature, and today you will enjoy the visit in Jerrico, and then you will enjoy also your time in the Dead Sea. Drive by the Indian wilderness, place where Jesus Christ fasted 40 days and night after the temptation of the devil.
والله لونه ملان بساط عندهم شايف ولو على عزرية.
When the children of God were praising the Lord, the walls of Jerrico came again.
I should be able to give William the numbers in a few minutes. I just need to count them up.
You have fun, no problem.
So we are now down in Jerrico, and we are going to be heading up the mountain on a cable car. I think I might try and tease one or two and sort of get their hearts fluttering. So don't forget to pick your parachutes up at the desk. Don't forget to pick your parachutes up at the desk.
Parachute? Do we need to?
Got you.
You always got me.
There's always one.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah.
You have gonna be a training something. Parachute? You want to go?
With parachute jumping, first time you're best just being pushed out and let nature take its course. You're always safe on your first jump.
I want to jump. I don't want to go down. I want to go up. Mind the gap. Ako yung sister ko parang Arab.
One by one, you can take the ticket and go up and wait with the ticket.
Right, collect your ticket from George and proceed up to the top of the stairs and wait for us on the cable car platform, okay? Be careful on the stairs, they are quite steep.